dear human, dear soul. I welcome you to my podcast series, Messages from Beyond. Since a near-death experience, I have had the gift of communicating with the subtle levels of the cosmos in a form of deep meditation in which I ask certain beings from the other world to communicate with me. As one of the first contacts to the afterlife, my old friend and teacher, friend of the Indians, showed himself to me. And it is now a great pleasure for me to introduce you to the conversations here as a supplement to the books. Please excuse me if the terms and our articulations are not perfect. Our mother tongue is German, but we try to translate it to the best of our ability. Thank you for understanding. What would you like to tell the people about love?
Love is the greatest cosmic power of movement. Love carries the souls along like a river that has the power to shape you forevermore and experience living joy through you. If you carry love inside you, you are connected to the power of the Source, because the Source is love, limitless in its power and its forms. Love expands you. Love teaches you. It nourishes you. Love is alive.
But please tell us, how important is it to love?
Love is the most important power in the cosmos, apart from consciousness. But I will go into that later. Love is the power that connects you even if you are not consciously aware of it. Still, that is the way it is. Love is alive in you like an animal. But you can contaminate this animal, and then you forget about this power, which is as strong as a form of indescribable size that can never perish. That is the most important thing. Love can never perish. If you are worried and desperate because you have experienced love as an intermittent energy that is not always with you, then you have just become aware that you are contaminated. Because where there is purity, love is with us constantly. Experiencing in a deficiency only results from the contamination of spirit and soul. The experience of abundance is the sister of love. Therefore, please be aware that this connection is the life task of your soul. We are all always connected, but you can also strengthen the power of this connection when you love. So please, do not ask the cosmos for strength, but live the love inside you. It is there, and it wants to live. People who do not feel love shall purify. People who are afraid of love shall purify. People who suffer in love shall purify. People who do not experience love as the highest cosmic good shall purify. For all these beings are not connected in their full power. They are like sick life forms, close to life, that have lost the true sense of life. But I am here, and I would love to help to make you aware of how important it is that love lives in your heart. For this is the gateway into the love of the cosmos. It is a gateway into the power of the whole of existence. This is where the source of your power really lies. People who realize that love connects us and revives us when we experience a moment of listlessness and lifelessness have discovered the key to paradise. Is not this what you say?
Yes, that is what we say. I know that there are many people on our planet who consider love something that is there, but not really important. Every day of their lives, they chase money in order to have more and even more money in their bank accounts, or in order to accumulate possessions another way. What can you tell these people who direct their attention so exclusively to material things? What can we tell them about love?
That it is love that will make them rich, not money, not this world of matter that will perish like all matter. The consciousness of these people is relatively limited when they chase these goods, because they have forgotten that they can take none of these things with them, but only that which they have experienced and felt, and therefore carry inside them for evermore. This form that you are, the energy that you are as a soul, it will not be able to take the experience of matter with it on its journey through time. All the soul carries is love, in its pure form, or in its contaminated form. The soul chooses the path. This matter that you speak of is lifeless and without love. It is like the expulsion from the paradise that you can create inside you. I have no words for how lifeless and senseless this way of existence is, but perhaps it will help when I tell you that every day that you chase money and power will be a lost day for the soul. This may be difficult to hear, but it is true. The soul is not alive when you measure your wealth in gold and pearls. The soul is alive when you feel love inside you and send loving impulses out into the world.
You said that very beautifully. Today, by the way, it is less a case of gold and pearls. Today it is more a case of stocks and shares and other possessions, but in the end it is the same. But I did understand. Yet there are some people who have a great deal of money but love to do great things with this money, and therefore do loving things.
That is the right thing. This path is the right path. When you have obtained riches in the material world, it is your responsibility and your task to share these riches, because only then the soul will grow.
What about the people who have amassed great wealth but do not share it?
These people are not connected to the power of the source, which wants to give continuously. These people retain the energy, for their money and their wealth is a different type of energy. That is why I call it energy in this case. People are keeping the energy for themselves. But when the soul leaves the planet, this energy will stay here and will change into other human hands and will also change form. But they themselves will not keep anything. If these people had shared it, then they would have been able to experience the joy of those that they gave these goods to. And this joy would have enlightened and purified, uplifted and enlivened them. But you cannot buy this energy with anything that exists on earth. Only through joy can you lift this energy.
Ah, you put that very beautifully. So when people have a lot of money or even wealth and manage to give a lot of joy to other people, then they will more or less enter the flow that strengthens them, where, seen from a cosmic perspective, they even get something of this wealth back, right?
This is not quite correct. Your material riches remain in your world. These riches do not exist in the spiritual world. But through sharing these riches, you can raise your own energy. But this is entirely your own responsibility and not the responsibility of the cosmos. And it is not as if the people who have wealth and just pass it on can elevate their energy by doing only that. It is about the experience of joy. It is about that, because when you do this, love begins to flow. So it is not the mere act of passing it on, it is also about the connection to the people and the beings, perhaps also animals, that are allowed to share in these riches. Not simply giving, but being connected to those that you give to. That is the key.
But what about the people that have nothing? How can they give joy and experience love?
That is easy. If you have nothing, you will start to create something from nothing. And this thing that you have created, however small and insignificant it may seem, has been created in love and wants to give love. If these people have created something out of love and pass it on, it is at last as worthy as the riches of the wealthy when they pass it on in love. So you must not judge by the amount of matter you give, but by the love that you give.
Can you suggest anything to the people that they could aim for in their life in relation to this subject? I mean, to those people who would like to elevate their energy, who would like to purify themselves, who would like to give more power to their soul, who would like to leave beautiful traces on this planet, but maybe just haven't got the best opportunities, who just simply live a normal life. What can you tell them? How can they live their lives without having to shift huge amounts of matter to write books or to achieve God knows what? How can they manage in a small way to pass on this love?
This is relatively easy, because every day that you spend lovingly with each other is another step into this connection. And therefore all of this is not dependent on small things or big things. It does not have anything to do with matter at all. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand. It's about the feeling.
Exactly. It is about the feeling of passing on the power of love. The feeling of love is universal. When you feel love warmly and alive in your heart, you are on the best path to strengthen the soul and keep it alive in all its power. Then freedom begins to blossom in your soul. None of this depends on matter at all. All you need is the resolution to give love to someone. With this decision, the soul begins to embark on the journey of experiencing love. This is the same for all beings in the cosmos.
What about those people who have made the conscious decision not to do this? People who create negative fields, people that are so unaware that they have forgotten all of these things, who do not know them and do not live them.
Unfortunately, these beings will feel less and less energy in their soul. And when they make the transition, they will not enter the levels of light. Because when the perception of the soul has been dimmed down so much that it was unable to experience love during its life, then it remains on a very low vibrational level when it makes its transition. We will talk more about this fact another time. But in the final analysis, it is a kind of punishment that these souls inflict upon themselves because they did not live love during their lives.
So there's nothing else that judges these souls except for themselves, right?
Yes, the cosmos does not judge. The cosmos creates balance.
So who judges then?
It is the souls themselves that pass judgment on their actions. This is all. No more and no less. Therefore, it is important that you make the best use of your lifetime in order to create your deeds and forms in as much love as you can. Then the soul will elevate its energy through the love and joy that flow through it. In this case, the soul, when it makes its transition, will experience a lighter and more luminous state of being, and it will not carry as many negative fields.
I understand. Dear friend of the Indians, I believe that we now have finished with the subject as well, haven't we?
Love is very manifold, Sylvia. You still need to capture this diversity.
Oh, okay. Would you like to do this now?
I would love to.
Then please carry on.
Love is a cosmic form that does not only exist between men and women or in other interpersonal relationships. Love is the force that makes you feel alive when you do good deeds and when you give joy to others. Love is everything you do while doing in it a giving manner. This is principle, the essence of my message. To give is to love.
So what you mean to say is this: if you plant a plant, if you treat an animal with love, if you do whatever you do lovingly, then you are giving love, right?
Right.
Are there other forms you want to describe?
No.
So what will we talk about next?
Suffering.
Why suffering?
Suffering is a misunderstanding on the part of mankind. I have much to say about that.
Okay, well then, let's talk about suffering. Thank you, love.
Thank you, Sylvia. Love.